Good morning, everyone. It's Mary Agnew with the Sacred Threshold. It is Sunday, May 12th, 2024. Time for our chat of the week and see what our energy of the week is going to look like. You know, I wanted to introduce you guys to Livingston Peak, right there. That is the mountain that's right outside. That's what we see outside of our home. There's the Yellowstone River. And so why am I wanting to talk to you about that? Well, you know, I think you'd have to be just about living under a rock to not have seen on your Facebook feed all of the photos of the Northern Lights and how many people got to see them. I saw people posting even as far south as Florida were seeing them this time. And they were absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful here as well. And what really struck me was we drove up to a higher spot that had a beautiful view, unobstructed, and we were up there to watch the lights. Well, of course, so were dozens and dozens of other people. And what really, really just spoke to my heart was how in awe all of us were. And it was almost like a sacred community event. You know, there was no divisiveness at all there. Everybody was together. And there was, there were a lot of oohs and ahs, but mostly it was a very sacred time together. Now, also, a couple of weeks ago, we had something very similar with the total eclipse, or wherever you were in the States primarily, where you saw the eclipse to whatever extent that you saw it. And once again, it was all over the media, it was all over Facebook, beautiful photos. But where I experienced the eclipse, it was once again, it was one of those sacred communion times. There was, people even got quieter. People got quieter as the event was going on. So, some friends and I were chatting about that, about just the experience of these nature events that bring us into communion. I remember years ago, right when we first got a place here in Montana, like, I don't know, 17, 18 years ago, and I was driving home and I came across a place called Mallard's Rest. And it's this beautiful place that you drive in up here, the river's down here, Paradise Valley's all in the background, all these gorgeous mountains. And it had been raining and a rainbow appeared. Oof, right over all of that. And man, I whipped my car into Mallard's Rest. There were people doing the same thing. We ended up with about 20 of us. And I mean, we did this cheer, all of us together, and it was community. It was togetherness. So what I really thought about with all of these different events happening that do bring us community. Right now in the Midwest, and I know in other places, there's that massive cicada emergence, and my family is telling me, yeah, it sounds like a dozen weed eaters going at one time for 12 hours a day. Even that is bringing people together. You run into them in the grocery store. Oh my God, how are you doing? Oh, this, oh, this. But it's that togetherness. And I wonder, go on this little mind journey with me and see what you think about this. We've had other times that have brought us together, 9/11 being a primary thing that brought the entire world together. But I'm wondering about these sacred moments when Mother Nature brings us together to show us that it doesn't have to be war. It doesn't have to be famine. It doesn't have to be pestilence that brings us together. It can be the beauty of nature. It can be the beauty of a gorgeous day. It can be the beauty wherever you see it. Now, of course, there are other beautiful times that bring us together in sadness. You know, unfortunately, school shootings or mass shootings or, somebody's house burns down. But I also want to have us open our minds to the possibility that Mother Nature is showing us another way that we can gather together and be together, not be, oh, you're this, so I'm not going to come and experience this beauty with you because we're too different. We're not. We basically all want the same things, right? We want our families to be safe. We want to have a home. We want to have food. Those are all commonalities. How we get there is individual. But I do want us to consider that of these beautiful gifts that Mother Nature has given us, that she has given us just in these last few weeks. The eclipse, the beautiful, beautiful nighttime northern lights, or even just a beautiful day like today. So let's consider that. And then, of course, today is Mother's Day, so I do want to just chat and thank all the mothers out there, the mothers of all spectrums, the mothers of that are doing the hard work of raising children. It is incredibly hard. The mothers who are hurting today because their children have absented themselves from your life, the mothers who lost children don't have them here, the mothers who were never able to have children. It's a hard day. It is a hard day for women in some respects. It's also a hard day for a lot of the mothers because the mothers are the ones who have to organize everything. Even though it's called Mother's Day, you're the ones who, oh, okay, now we've got to go see mom, then we've got to go see the mother-in-law, then we got to, the kids have to be dressed, they have to be perfect. So Mother's Day as this illusion of a day of rest for women, I'm going to kind of call a stink eye on that one because I'm not sure you guys are all getting the rest that you would love. And why would it only be one day? Why shouldn't women be supported 365 days a year? So I'm kind of going afield there a bit, but I don't know. Mother's Day has always struck me as that it's a lovely sentiment, but I'm not sure that women really get the love and support. I don't know that flowers are going out to eat in a crowded restaurant that the woman had to make the reservations for. I'm not sure that that's really supporting women, but hey, that's anyway. So today, let's see what our card for the coming week is going to look like. I would love this card. It's called Ripeness. Now, this card, you know how so many of us plans aren't humans. We love to plan. Our ego mind loves to plan. I'm going to do this, and then this, and then this, and it's all going to go just like that. And if it doesn't, then we're like, come on, let's get going on it. The ripeness card is about you can't push these things. You cannot push these things. You see that this apple, when it fell, it didn't sit up here and say, oh, it's Sunday morning, May 12th, it's 9 a.m., I got to drop. It dropped when it was ready, when it was in the fullness of its availability. The fullness of its availability. And isn't that true for all of us? Even those of us who are on these spiritual quests. It's the fullness of our availability. We can study, read books, but until our soul is fully available for the lessons, yeah, we'll get some, but the availability of our souls is what brings about the ripeness that allows the messages to truly be integrated into our lives. This card is also about just slowing down, not pushing, pushing, pushing. This has got to happen and it's got to happen right now, in my way, this way, blah, blah, blah. So this week, look at slowing down, letting things unfold the way they should. But I'd really also like you to look at the availability of your soul to the life that you are desiring. I have so many people who love to work with their spirituality, and I'm happy, happy, happy to help anybody along that path. I'm still on that path. But I also know that a lot of it depends on how available am I. Am I truly present? Am I truly available for this message at this time? And I'm not saying this like to guilt trip you, like, oh, you did something wrong. All I'm saying is it might not be the right time for this message to truly be integrated in you. Doesn't mean it's not valuable. Doesn't mean it's not a step and a step and a step. Just don't push that it's got to happen now and it's got to happen in my way. So, that was a lot of topics this morning, wasn't it? Let's go ahead and get into our healing meditation. Rub those palms together, activate your chakras. Hands on your heart, close your eyes, both of them, not just one. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, I love you, I love you, I love you, in the fullness of of all that means. Look at your availability to love yourself, because that, my dears, is the foundation of all spiritual growth. Your availability to love yourself. And feel that door open a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, as you invite that incredible love into your life. Breathe it all through your body. And let's this morning tap into that beauty, that incredible sacredness of when we come together, where two or more are gathered. There is where the divine is. And breathe that in. You've all experienced moments like that, whether it's going to see your son produce a play and it brings such joy to your heart and joy to the audience, whether it's experiencing the northern lights or the eclipse, those moments of togetherness. Feel that in your body. And know that also is based in love, right? And extending that through your whole body. I really want you today to take that moment to expand your availability to love yourself down to every cell in your body, all the way down to your DNA, to remind yourself that you are a being of love. We are all beings of love. And we are all connected, feeling that interconnectedness through nature, through just being with each other, through allowing our souls to be available to love ourselves and to love others. And just continuing to breathe that in. And breathe it out. Breathe it out to those surrounding you, to your pets, to your plants. So many studies have been done about plants responding to love. There we go. Extending it out to your neighborhood. breathing in deeply and extending it out to your state, to your country. And let's extend it out to the politicians who make the rules that we all have to live by, so that they remember that we are all connected and it's for the good of all, to all of the war-torn areas, sending love, sending love. Let's really take a moment here and extend that love. No judgment. Everybody deserves to be loved. Everybody deserves to be safe, to keep their children safe, to be fed, to be housed. There. Now, coming back, gathering that love back to you doesn't diminish it going out into the universe. The universe is also sending love to you, bringing that back, bringing it back so that it is a reciprocal event, giving love to the world, being available to give love to the world, and being available to receive it back. Receive it back, receive it back. There we go. Taking another deep breath. Pat yourself on the heart one more time. I love you, I love you, I love you. And open your eyes. Remember, my dears, this week our energy is about ripeness, finding out for ourselves our own availability for growth. Trying to not get into the ego mind of I am going to dictate this, I am going to push this, I am going to make this happen. Let's look at the ripeness, the beauty of this week ahead. Thank you for joining me, as usual, Mary Agnew with The Sacred Threshold. If anybody, I'm sorry, I just was watching out of the corner of my eye. I see this bird, and I thought it was one of our eagles, and I was going to turn the camera over there quick, but it was a duck. Mary Agnew, Sacred Threshold. You can find me always here on Facebook. I have a YouTube page. I'll have to have Tina post that. I don't know what it is. And also my website is The Sacred Threshold. And I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye now.